Hey everyone, Zach Butler here. Just wanted to do an updated Kashtira P.U.N.K deck profile. I know pre-Photon Hypernova this was a deck that I posted and it seemed really popular, so I wanted to show an updated version. Credit for this does not go to me. This goes primarily to my friend Rob. I just changed a couple cards because he and I don't always agree on some of the deck making choices, but this is very similar to the deck that he played at a 3v3 over the weekend and went undefeated. And I figured I would just kind of show you guys what you could do for some of the changes heading into the new format, since everything changes. And I know that this was a deck that I saw a lot of success with. I know he saw a ton of success with it, and it seemed very popular in the comment section, so I figured I'd show you guys and we can just hop into it. So we're going to go through it engine by engine, like always. First, we're going to go through the Kashtiras. One big change is there's only one Fenrir. This is because this is the worst Kashtira that you play. You only play 4 monsters. You play 1 Fenrir, 3 Unicorn. The reason for that is because now we have 3 Pressure Planet Wraithsoth. This searches out either of these Kashtiras. You're almost always going to search out Unicorn. And then you also play 1 Birth. One cool thing about Wraithsoth that a lot of people don't know is that it actually just increases all of your monsters by 100 for each attribute on the field. So you can get random OTKs with it that way. But because Unicorn is so much more important than Fenrir because it represents 2 monsters instead of 1, we cut the Fenrir to 1, play 2 Unicorn. Unicorn also being a wind is really good because it's a different attribute because you play so many earth monsters. So that's it for the Kashtira. For the P.U.N.K engine itself, you have, of course, 3 Foxy Tune, 2 Ogre Dance, just 1 Deer Note right now. This might go to 2. It is a good extender, but I found that I just generally didn't need a second copy. But it's, like I said, it's still really early in the testing stages. The second one didn't come up for me as much as I thought it would when I was shuffling it up, but we'll see. And then, of course, your 3 Xiamen, 1 Sharkusai, 1 Wagon, 1 Madam Spider. That's very standard. And then 3 Emergency Teleport, of course, because it's extra copies of each of those, and 1 Jam Extreme Session. So you are playing multiple field spells. That's actually one really cool thing that I actually wanted to bring up in this deck is that you could play cards like Terraforming to get to extra Wraithsoth and Jam Extreme Session. You can also play cards like Set Rotation. If you know you're not playing a mirror match, you can give them this. You can search this. You can give them this if you want. And it lets you play cards like Metaverse. And you can side deck cards like Closed Forest for the Kashtira matchup to stop them from being able to play their copies of Wraithsoth themselves. You can play Metaverse and Set Rotation, things like that. I don't have a side deck for this build right now. This is just kind of spur of the moment. But those were some of the thoughts that I had earlier today. I'm a big fan of Closed Forest, and being able to play it again in a meaningful way is very good. And then there's a ton of hand traps because it's a P.U.N.K deck. So 3 Ash, 3 Ghost Mourner, and Moonlit Chill. This is one that I think a lot of players don't necessarily like as much. I'm a big fan of this card. Being a level 3 tuner is great. Being a wind is great because it's another attribute. But also just the random burn damage does matter because of how much you're able to OTK. This deck is really good when you just do big pushes of damage and you have this, and if they do anything wrong, then they can just die. Between that, the 2 Effect Veilers, and the 3 Infinite Impermanence, it's very unlikely that they will be getting to a lot of their combos. So that's why I have those, because I found that these kinds of exchanges were worth it in a deck where you're playing cards like the P.U.N.Ks, which generate so much advantage. And then, of course, 1 Ghost Ogre, because it is a psychic monster that you can search off of your Synchro, the Jam Dragon Drive, which is always really good. Then I played 3 Book of Eclipse. It's just kind of an insurance policy. Not really sure if I like this card as much. It could be Nibiru. I just liked having Book of Eclipse as like a 6th draw, because every time I drew Nibiru as my 6th card, I died a little inside. So having Book of Eclipse in your hand doesn't feel bad. Having it as the 6th draw doesn't feel bad because you can just Book of Eclipse, break the lock. If you're going first and they're trying to set up a comeback, you can Book of Eclipse after you use your negations. It can reset your Baron and things like that. It just has a lot of really cool little neat interactions in the deck. And then the one Dangerous Gabu. You could also play the other trap, the Destruction one. I like Dangerous Gabu because it leaves the monster on field, which I feel like is more detrimental to the Kashtira deck in general, though Rise Heart does kind of change that. So it might be better to play the pop one, but I think that Dangerous Gabu is just an insane card in general. And being able to randomly gain life points is nice. For the extra deck, 2 Rising Carp. This is one big change. The second one doesn't really come up in theory. It's more just that you want to have a second one in case they banish it off of the 89 or Unicorn. You want to make sure you have a second copy. 2 Amazing Dragons. The second one does come up if you played this deck last format when I posted the list, you know that the second one comes up a lot actually. 1 Psychic Punisher, Changing, and Baron. And then 2 Jam Dragon Drive. This is one I'm really not sold on, but worried that the second one would come up. One thing I did consider is actually playing a Crimson Blader because there's so many level 7 monsters that are being played, and you've got the Branded deck, the Kashtira deck, this deck. There's so many high level monsters that if you can get a Crimson Blader through, that's effectively an FTK. So that's something to consider if you don't think a second Jam Dragon Drive is going to be too necessary. The Draco Berserker, the Tiny Still, I think this is the best level 8 synchro that isn't Jam Dragon Drive though. Just being able to banish problem cards is really good. And then Fortune Tune, Dingirsu. I'm playing Divine Dragonite Felgrand. Being able to protect is really good. Also being able to have another form of, being able to have a level 8 that is an interrupt going first or protection going second, I felt was just really strong. The one Zeus, if they get rid of this and they leave all of this, you're probably fine. Usually, I guess we'll kind of see how it goes, how the format progresses. And then I played 1 Lingaribo just in case they play Ibli and they have that, because the one time I held my Imperm to play around everything else, they just normal summoned Ibli, and then I just lost the game from there, and it was pretty awful. So I live in fear, and I have the Lingaribo in there just in case. But yeah, that's the deck for now. There will definitely be changes, and I can always post those. If you have any questions or anything like that, please leave them in the comment section down below. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All the support is incredibly helpful and really immensely appreciated. And if you have any questions or want to see any more content like this, please just let me know. Also, if you want to see combo videos or anything like that. And finally, like I said, a giant shout out to my friend Rob. He was the one who showed me the deck in the first place, worked with me a lot on the initial versions of the deck, and kind of just let me run with it, and showed me a more updated version. And congratulations to him and his team in their 3v3, and they did so well. So yeah, I just wanted to say that, and have a good night, guys, and I'll see you next time.